Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Melbourne, and welcome to Fight Week ahead of this stacked double-header event that we'll see here at Margaret Court Arena and live on Main Event Television this Wednesday night. Ben Damon's my name. Can't wait to call the action. Of course, we have that big heavyweight fight between Joseph Parker and Django Opolu. We have Tszyu in his fight against the undefeated Benjamin Bommber, and a couple of former AFL stars as well round out the top part of this card with Mooney to take on Bellchambers. We are joined here today as well by boxing royalty, the heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury. He joins us as part of Joseph Parker's team, and we've got to start with the Gypsy King. Tyson, welcome to Melbourne. How was the trip, and how are you enjoying yourself here?
Thank you. Pleasure to be here in Melbourne. The trip was absolutely ridiculously long, and I've enjoyed myself quite a lot. I had a lot of drinks last night, and I think I needed them as well because I'm jet lagged to fuck. It's like 3 in the morning where I'm from, so I'm just riding out. I feel like I'm on like cuckoo land at the moment, so you have to excuse me a little bit.
Well, that's a good thing. We'll leave that microphone with you through the course of this press conference, so feel free to jump in as you see fit. But it has become the hottest ticket in town, Tyson, this fight night on Wednesday night. Why were you so compelled to travel all that way here to Melbourne for this fight night?
You know, me and Joe are like brothers, and he supported me in my career in Las Vegas and all over the world, so I'm here supporting him in his fight in Melbourne. All
right, thank you so much, Tyson Fury. We'll come back towards the Gypsy King later on during the press conference, but now let's go to From No Limit, George Rose. George, firstly on Tyson Fury, what an honour for you as a promoter to have him here.
Absolute honour to have Tyson here. Really grateful that you were able to make the trip. Look, I was really excited about this event. I was really excited about the opportunity for him to be coming, but you never know until that last minute, till they actually get off the plane and he's here. So thank you for making that long trip and coming all the way down here. And I really do hope you enjoy yourself. And if you need a hand sinking any beers, I'll come and join you anytime, mate.
Good man, good man.
George, talk to us about that heavyweight fight between Joseph Parker and Django Opolu, which just got a bit spicier with Tyson Fury's presence, but it's an outstanding fight. Interesting build-up as well.
Oh, very interesting build-up, and look, it's a chance for the boys to really showcase against to the best in the world, who's here to watch ringside. A chance to really put on a big performance. I was very excited to have Joseph Parker here in Australia for his first heavyweight fight here. So, you know, that's only added to it a little bit more. And I know, you know, we know what Django's record is like down here in Melbourne. We know that he's taken out some big guys down here, and you know, I think come Wednesday night, both of these boys are going to put on a big show.
We'll come back to the heavyweight fight in a minute, but there's a lot of buzz here in Melbourne, George, around the two former AFL players, Mooney and Bellchambers. Yesterday, out and about in Melbourne, everyone wanted to talk about that fight. Are you surprised how big that's become?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, AFL is religion down here in Melbourne, in Victoria. I understand that. And in coming down here to Melbourne, I knew that we had to have some AFL guys on the card. And I've been watching a little bit of their old footage, and I saw the way that Mooney plays, and I can understand why he's a guy that's stepping into the ring. Mate, he was pretty rough. He got in amongst it. So you know, I was really surprised, because you look at him.
No one could hit you back on the field, though.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is that you look so unassuming. You look like a really nice guy, but on the field, you were a rough bastard, well and truly. So, and then, you know, on the other side, we've got Bellchambers, who's I said that he looks like Tyson Fury at our previous announcement, and now that the
just an uglier version.
Well, you know, it's going to make for a fantastic fight.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we've got Tszyu and Benjamin Bommber as well. Now, that has been a war of words throughout. Some really interesting stuff has been said. It's building nicely, that one.
Absolutely. And I think that the thing right now in global boxing is young guys wanting to take on the best. So these two are two of the best young super welterweights in Australia. And the fact that they're willing to step into the ring against each other right here, right now, on Wednesday night, is going to show the standard of the boxing that we have here in Australia. You know, there's no doubt that Tszyu has been earmarked as a future star of Australian boxing. But Benjamin Bommber is putting in a massive effort to make sure that he's making the most of this opportunity to try and steal the limelight away from Tszyu, and you know, potentially get a massive upset on Wednesday night.
George, just finally, you are a boxing promoter. You've got the heavyweight champion of the world a couple of chairs down. I'm sure you've got an idea. There's something in mind, an offer you can make, something for Tyson?
Well, look, I think the offers that he usually fields have a few more zeros than I have in my back pocket. So I don't think I could match the money that he commands, but I know that if you ever fight in Australia, you'll have a hell of a good time down here. And anyone that you ever want to fight here, we'd love to have you down here. You know, you might not know a lot about No Limit Boxing at the moment, but what we do is we entertain the people. We love to put on a great show. So you ever want to come down here, have a good time, have a great show, you're more than welcome to come and join No Limit Boxing, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, now let's get to chatting with some of these fighters, and we did, of course, mention that bout between two former AFL stars, and we'll start with Tom Bellchambers. Tom, how do you feel about the fact that you are now being constantly compared to the heavyweight champion of the world?
It's just an uglier version. I'll still take that. I've been trying to channel my inner Gypsy King over the last 3 weeks since I've got the comparison. So I've been watching a lot of his vision, trying to see what he does out in the ring, and I'm looking forward to Wednesday night.
And it was mentioned by George about Cam Mooney's on-field antics at times. Are you preparing for that version of him in the ring?
I hope so. That's, you know, we're here to put on a show, and I'd hope that, you know, Cam's obviously been in the gym doing his work over the last certain amount of time, and I'd expect nothing less once we step into that ring to put on a good show for the fans.
It feels like everyone has an opinion on this fight here in Melbourne. One of those opinions, John O'Brien, said that you have no chance in this fight.
Maybe I'll take John O'Brien next after I go through Moons.
What do you think does happen in this fight? I've heard a few of the bits and pieces you've had to say. You sound extremely confident that it finishes rather quickly. Is that right?
That's the plan, definitely. It's a heavyweight boxing bout, so I've been training over the last 3 or 4 weeks now, and I've been able to get some really good sparring sessions in. My coach, Jason Waitley, his record probably speaks for itself, so I've been able to spar him a bit over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I think that's going to hold me in really good stead.
Now, moving to Cam Mooney down at the end of the front table, everyone has had an opinion. I did see Tom in front of a big AFL crowd saying he's going to finish you in a round. How do you feel about that?
No, look, to be honest, I'm excited about the night. You know, we're going to go in there and put on a show. It's something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. I've had Will Tomlinson in my corner now for the last few months, who's been unbelievable down at Geelong at Wildfire Gym, and you know, I've got the great man behind me here, so it's very exciting, to be honest, to be in this room.
Yeah, I know you're a big boxing fan, a big boxing man.
I fell in love with him when he sang American Pie in the ring after he had a win. So.
Well, we might try and get him to do that at the end of the press conference. Let's see if we can get away with it. But yeah, does it add pressure or just excitement?
No, excitement. I mean, you know, to have No Limit bring boxing to Melbourne is fantastic. But then, you know, to have Joshua, you know, fighting, Nikita fighting, and then you got the great man behind us, you know, world champion. I mean, that just adds a big buzz to the town, big buzz to the fight night. You know, I know a lot of people that are coming, a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues. Everyone's really excited about Wednesday night. So hopefully Tommy and I can put on a bit of a show just before the main events get going.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much to those two fellas. Looking forward to that fight. Now we do move to the fight between Tszyu and Benjamin Bommber. Both of these undefeated fighters, 5-0 at this stage of their professional boxing careers with 4 stoppages. I'll start with Ben Bommber from here in Victoria. This one does seem to be quite personal. You are the fighter who's chased it. Why did you want Tszyu so badly?
Look, I wouldn't say it's personal. I've seen an interview he did. He said he's the first time he's fighting someone that genuinely dislikes him. But I don't know the bloke from a bar of soap. I know what you know. It's all about boxing. It's about business. He's got something that I want, and that's it. It's not personal for me.
Do you feel that your training regime we've heard so much about in the US and all of those things that you're doing puts you ahead of Nikita at this stage of your career?
Look, you know, he's got a great team as well. I went over there. I think I've definitely had the better sparring. I know I've had a longer and harder preparation. I can tell you that. You know, we've known about this fight for a while, even though it wasn't announced. You know, we were in talks since last year. So, you know, he's definitely been on my mind for a while.
Big opportunity for you in this fight, not only to beat Tszyu, but to cement yourself right up the top of Victorian boxing. Do you feel that a win here could make you the face of boxing in this part of the world?
Yeah, it's going to be a massive win. To have a star, a boxing, such a young kid from Melbourne, 21 years of age, taking on a massive name and to win in his hometown. You know, it's going to be huge, and I can't wait.
Michael Zarafa would have to have some claims on that title, wouldn't he, as well at this stage?
Yeah, you know, he's a bit older. He's, 30, 35 fights. So we're at different stages in our career, but, you know, I'm the new blood coming through.
Did you ever spar Zarafa in the old days?
Yeah, you know, we used to be in the same team. So, yeah, we definitely did a lot of work, especially during the COVID period where, you know, we couldn't really travel. So, yeah, we definitely did like over 6 months straight of just sparring because we couldn't really get anyone else in Melbourne.
Obviously, he's at the very top level. How did you go in those spars?
Yeah, I did well. You know, I don't want to talk too much about sparring, but being how young I was and where he was at, you know, I definitely did well.
Okay, and how are you going to go in this fight on Wednesday night? I'm sure you've envisaged exactly how it's going to go down. How does it look to you?
I just see myself winning. Like, I look at my skills, I look at his skills, and I've said it since day one when this fight was announced. I just believe I'm the better skilled fighter. You know, that's no matter how you want to cut it or slice it. That's what I believe, and I'm going to prove it come Wednesday night, and I can't wait.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin Bommber. That takes us to Nikita Tszyu. So a lot of talk, Nikita, and I see you've replied to a lot of it as well, is around the American training camps, the American trainers. How do you feel about what's being said around all that?
Look, I find the trip to America is one of the best things for him. It's one of the best things for me as well. The fact that he's dedicating himself, he's going out and getting the best kind of work, he's getting the best preparation. It's just going to mean that there's going to be no excuses for Wednesday night. And like, I just hope he just doesn't embarrass himself. Like, he's been talking it up, he's been bringing American trainers, he's putting in all this work, and if he really shits the bed, it's going to be not going to be a good look for him.
Mate. What do you reckon it's going to go? You can't even do 8 rounds. You're talking about embarrassing. You can't do 8 rounds, mate. Last press conference, you said doghouse rules, but yet you weren't allowed to do more than 6 rounds. Is that not embarrassing for you?
Why was I not allowed to do more than 6 rounds?
I don't know. You said you got a special plan.
Yeah, we do have a special plan.
Well, there you go, mate. You can't do 8 rounds, and you're saying that's embarrassing for me.
Yeah, I'm not fit enough for 6 rounds. You know, I'm not fit enough for 8 rounds.
No.
Let's let that be stuck in your heads, and then.
I'm not saying that, mate. I'm just saying you got special plans. Your team said you can't do 8 rounds, and you're saying it's embarrassing.
Yeah, but you're saying that I'm not fit enough to do 8 rounds. I'm not.
No,
fit
I'm
enough
saying
to
I don't know why you can't do 8 rounds. Your team said you can't do 8 rounds.
Isn't that what you said before?
Huh?
Isn't that what you said before?
Your team said you can't do 8 rounds. I'm just saying you're saying it's embarrassing. I said it's embarrassing that you're not allowed to do 8 rounds.
I'll jump in. Nikita, what would be embarrassing, do you think, for Ben Bommber? You say that you sort of hope that he doesn't embarrass himself. What would be embarrassing for him on Wednesday night?
It's more just like all the talk that he's been doing. He's been saying how he's much more skillful than me, that he's got the best team behind him, all that. I just hope that he's a man of his word.
Mate, this is where I don't know what he's talking about. Believing in yourself is not being cocky or putting him down. It's me talking from the heart. It's what I believe. That I don't know where that comes like coming across being shit talking. You know what I mean? I'm believing in myself, and that's it. You know,
I'm not saying that you're shit talking.
Yeah, you did. You just said it.
Seems to have a different edge, this one, Nikita, even by the stare that you're giving Benjamin Bommber as you speak. Where's that come from, the things that he's been saying?
Yeah, it's just it's kind of been like a mosquito in the back of my head for best part of like a year and a half. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. It's his name has always been flying around, and like the moment has actually come. So I'm just really pumped up for it, and the emotions are running really excitingly.
And what's going to happen?
We're going to have a very skillful fight. It's going to be a chess match. He's saying that he's more skillful than me. I'm saying that I'm more skillful than him, and the best man's going to win. Only we're both undefeated fighters. We've both got 5-0 records, 4 TKOs. So the best man wins.
Any final words, Ben Bommber, before we move up to the top table here?
Nah, I'm just ready to get it on. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get it on. That is Wednesday night, the co-feature. You'll see Nikita Tszyu and Benjamin Bommber. Then we move on to the heavyweight clash between Joseph Parker and Django Opolu. Now, you can see we've got a cast of thousands up here at the top table, and that is because there's been a little bit of back and forth. We did announce at the original press conference we'd be fighting this fight for the Commonwealth heavyweight title. That appears now not to be the case. Potentially, we could go to Dave Higgins at the end for clarification. Dave, of course, the manager and former promoter of Joseph Parker, can you clarify what has happened with the Commonwealth title?
Yeah, sure. Look, first I just want to thank No Limit Boxing for making this opportunity happen. Joseph Parker hasn't fought as a professional in Australia before, and we know there's a lot of New Zealand expats in Australia, a lot of boxing fans, Samoan. So it's great to be in Australia, and we're grateful to No Limit, Fox, and everyone who's put the show on. I think No Limit are doing a wonderful job for boxing in Australia, and the Rose Brothers. And yeah, when we had the discussions, it was put to us that the fight would be for the Commonwealth title, which does have a bit of pedigree about it. There's some big names like Anthony Joshua who have held the Commonwealth title. And then for some reason they're saying it's not the Commonwealth title, and I think I'm being told money got in the way or something, but I don't understand that. Like, if you're a boxer that backs yourself to win, why would you not want to fight for the title? But my understanding is the opponent doesn't want to fight for the title. Is that correct?
Well, we could get clarification from Steve Della. Steve, would you like to grab that microphone from Django's team? Could you clarify what has occurred?
Yeah, look, once again, we're the same. We'd like to thank No Limits for putting us on this show. They put on some of the greatest shows in Australia since they started. But just to clarify what Dave said, we did sign a contract. We signed a 10-round contract. That was it, 10 rounds, and that was our contract, like all contracts. Once they're signed, sealed and done, then it was put to us about the Commonwealth title. Well, okay, let's renegotiate the contract, and that's where things broke down.
So why did they break down, Steve?
Well, it never got renegotiated for the extra rounds. The same as any other contract. I'm sure David Higgins, a very astute man, one of the best promoters around the world, that young Joseph there, if he's signed a contract for him, then the promoters want to renegotiate, that want to change the rounds, change what it's for and everything, that he'll renegotiate the contract. The same
so to clarify, Steve, the issue at your end was to go from 10 to 12 rounds.
That's correct, yeah. We're not worried about going 12 rounds. It's just the contract had to be renegotiated.
Yeah.
Dave?
Just from our perspective, in every of the 30-something fights Joseph Parker's had, if we had a fight made, contracted, and then someone said, hey, it's now for the title, we'd be excited and grab that opportunity rather than ask for more money or whatever. So it's just that bit's disappointing.
You don't want to change your mind on that, Steve? Yeah.
Well, look, I'd like to answer that a bit. Whether we fight Joseph Parker over 10 or 12 rounds isn't going to make much difference to where we move in the world. We feel that we're going to beat Joseph Parker. We beat Joseph Parker. We move up in the world rankings and everywhere around the world, whether it's 10 or 12 rounds, it won't make any difference. So after Wednesday night, after Django gets up and wins, we're going to get a world ranking, a lot higher world ranking out, and we'll be in a good position.
Okay. Anything further, Dave?
No, I think that'll do.
Okay. And thanks for getting Tyson Fury here today. I believe that was your job this morning.
I'm sure Tyson can look after himself.
All right. Well, let's talk to the fighters in this main event. Both Joseph Parker, of course, and Django Opolu. Django, just starting with you, and we have just talked about the Commonwealth title issue. Were you disappointed because you were saying how proud you were to be fighting for this belt and how excited you were, and now you're not? Is that disappointing to you?
I'd like to thank No Limit for having us on. Yes and no. You know, it's a great opportunity to fight for a prestigious title, but like again, I beat Parker. It has nothing to do with the title. Beating Parker is the everything that everyone's going to talk about. So really, it's it was yes and no.
Maybe we should get a response. Joseph Parker, I know you are disappointed that that title is no longer being contested.
Firstly, thank our Heavenly Father for today. Thank you to everyone who's here today. Before we talk about boxing, I'd just like to say to my wife and kids, it's great to have them here. My daughter turned 4 on Thursday and my little daughter's 1 today. So happy birthday to my daughter, Esme. Thank you to my team, George Lockhart, Chris, Martin, Andy Lee on his way down here, and especially to Tyson and Spencer Brown for flying all the way down. I know they're jet lagged as hell, but they're showing good form. Spencer is anyways. The Commonwealth title. Listen, I was excited to fight for the title. Like David said, a lot of great names have fought for the title, including Tyson himself. He won the title back in the day as well, so I thought it was all on. And listen, I'll fight 15 rounds if you want. I don't really care about rounds, but I guess there are managers behind the scenes to take care of that sort of things, but it is quite disappointing.
All right, we'll go back to Django Wapaloo. Django, Melbourne has been a great place for you. You've had some huge success here. Does it feel different when you come to Melbourne for a fight?
No, not at all. Yeah, Melbourne's always been good to me. And I love fighting in Melbourne. It's good atmosphere and good people here, and it's a good place to fight.
The victory over Hemia Hio, undefeated Kiwi star on the rise, would be a career highlight for you. Are you expecting something similar on Wednesday?
Yeah, the victory over Hemia was it was a great victory, and I plan on doing the same for this fight and create another upset.
Joseph Parker, we've already spoken, obviously, just briefly there, but how exciting is it to have Tyson Fury alongside you and to have so much support and so much buzz around this fight here in Melbourne?
Listen, it's very exciting to be here in Melbourne. I can't believe this is my first fight here as a professional, but I'd like to thank the Rose Brothers, No Limit Boxing, Fox, and it's fantastic to have Tyson down here on this side of the world. It's his first time here, and he did say that he's a bit jet lagged, but I've done this trip many times, so it's a long trip, but it's great to have him on this side of the world, and I know he's got a lot of supporters and a lot of fans. It'll be great to have him at ringside, and it's my first time fighting here in Melbourne, but I'm very excited. I'm going to put on a good show, and I know Django's had some good wins, but I ain't no Hemi, and I ain't anyone on his list. I'm a different fighter, and I've had a great camp with George Lockhart, Chris, Andy Lee in Ireland, and I'm ready to put on a good show. I'm in great shape, and it's the first time I've been in great shape for a long time. So, watch out.
So you've had a better preparation for this fight than recent fights?
I feel like in the 10 years of boxing, this has been one of my best preparations ever. Even before winning the world title. So it's going to be. This fight's going to be very different, and I feel sorry for Django because he's the one in front of me, and he's a fellow Uso, fellow brother, but he's in front of me, so he's going to get the full force.
And what does a victory like that mean for you at this stage? Where are you headed with a win like that?
It would have been nice to get that belt, added to my collection, the Commonwealth one, but just the win is good. Listen, I want to keep busy this year. I want to fight. I had a fight in January. I want to fight this fight, beat him, and then fight again 2 more times this year. That's my plan. Ain't nothing going to get in the way.
Tyson Fury, just talk to us about Joseph Parker, obviously a very good friend, but as a boxer, how impressed have you been with what he's done in his career?
Yeah, Joe's a good boxer. He's been a former world heavyweight champion. He's been training over in Morecambe with me for a few years now. He puts a lot of hard work in the gym. He's very dedicated. He's been training very hard with a different strength and conditioning guy this time, George Lockhart, who's also his nutritionist. And I've seen a massive change in Joe, his body shape. I've never seen him this ripped before or in as good a shape, so I'm excited for the fight. And I know this lad comes to fight as well. He's a big puncher and he's had some good knockouts, so I'm expecting fireworks. And if it's not fireworks, then fucking hell, it's a heavyweight fight. Get stuck in. Someone's getting knocked the fuck out. And I'm going to be ringside to watch it. Get up!
Tyson, you've had your own struggles with finding your next opponent. Do you fight Joseph Parker at some point, your good friend? Give him a shot at the heavyweight world title if he gets through this fight?
Yeah, if he gets through this fight, then he gets to fight me next in Australia, I think, yeah.
Well, I'll hold you to that. So that's all confirmed, ladies
All
and
I can
gentlemen.
say is, show me the money! Jerry Maguire, you can make that happen.
Tyson, you've been sitting there watching the rest of this press conference unfold. We've got the 2 former AFL players, one who looks like you. What are you expecting? Just listening to the 2 of them talk, what are you expecting in that fight?
I'm expecting some fireworks because I see a lot of this people coming from different sports and like different things lately with YouTube boxing and this Misfits boxing. You got all these different sports players coming to fighting now, so I'm excited for it, and I'm a big fan. A lot of boxers, they don't like other people coming into the game, but for me it's like bring as many eyes to boxing as possible, because it makes it a better place for kids coming through in the future. More eyes on boxing equals more money for the kids coming through and a better lifestyle for everybody. So I'm very, very up for it. I'm looking forward to it. They're both big lads. He's almost as big as me, but more uglier. And this guy looks like he's got two big biceps on him, so hopefully he gets stuck right in. And again, like he said before, it's heavyweight fights, so I want to see some action. I don't want to see two fairies in there. I want to see two heavyweights knocking lumps out of each other.
Do you have any advice for them ahead of their first pro fight?
Yeah, get straight forward on the front foot and swing away until one man falls over.
Good chat. Now, Tyson, we also spoke to Nikita Tszyu and Benjamin Bommber. You would know the great Tszyu, of course, and Tim, Nikita's brother. Have you seen Nikita in action as yet?
I haven't seen him, but I'm looking forward to the fight. You know, from listening to both of these guys talk, Ben over there, he's very confident, and Nikita here comes from a long line of boxing royalty. So I'm very looking forward to seeing the fight unfold. Both undefeated, both 5 fights unbeaten. So may the best man win on Wednesday.
All right, thanks again, Tyson, for joining us here today. We hope you enjoy the fights on Wednesday night. Can't wait to see you ringside. What are you going to be doing between now and then?
I'll be getting fucked up. No, actually, I'm really jet lagged. I feel like falling asleep right now. It's like 3:30 a.m. in the morning where I'm from, so I don't even think I've got the energy to go drinking, and that's very unusual for me.
You've got to power
through. When I'm on holiday, I'm always getting on the drink, but this time, not so much.
You have to power through. You can't go to sleep now. It won't work for you. Now, No Limit, we're interested in whether you'd like to sing a song for us. I think they've queued up American Pie. Any interest?
I'll get Dave to sing it for me. Dave, it's all yours.
Go on, Dave.
Go on, Dave.
No, fantastic. All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here today. We will face off some of these fighters, at least the main event. Let's face off Django and Joseph Parker here at the back. If you'd like to move into that position, we will face off the two fighters in our heavyweight fight. We'll go back to the hosting position shortly with Megan, who will be joined by Joseph Parker and hopefully Tyson Fury. But this is our heavyweight fight between Django Opolu and Joseph Parker, the former heavyweight champion of the world. Face off.
The music died. So bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.